Hello and welcome to another episode of Brody's Toy Reviews. I am still really ill, so another preemptive apology. I'm so ill, but I couldn't put off doing another episode because otherwise I'd fall massively behind in my schedule. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael figure. And I've got a few bits out because I wanted to do a little brief history on the Turtles for those who aren't familiar. So, the Turtles are actually a parody. The comic books began in 1984 and they were a parody of Daredevil. That's right. You see, Daredevil's main bad guys were the Hand. So the Turtles' bad guys were the Foot. Daredevil's mentor was Stick, so the Turtles' mentor was Splinter. You can see what a clever parody it was. Well, these began in 1984, and then in the mid-80s, like a little bit later, sort of 87, Mirage Studios' Playmate Toys came along and decided to buy the likeness rights for action figures. And this is an original Donatello from, I can't read it, 1988. So this is a 1988 figure. And when these were actually released internationally, there was mass confusion because obviously this looks nothing like these guys. These guys were what the Turtles looked in the cartoon, and this is what the action figures looked like. And everyone was really super duper confused because the comic books were like an adult comic book. It wasn't intended for kids. And obviously the TV show was massively targeted at children. So there was a whole lot of confusion about why the toys looked this way, but that was basically it. That the studio had the likeness rights for the comics, but they didn't have the likeness rights for the cartoons. The cartoons came after the action figures. But being in the UK, we got to see the cartoons before the action figures launched over here because that's just the way things happen here. Well, at least they did in the 80s. So my favourite turtle was Raphael. So my parents bought me Donatello because that's how attentive they were. This is the original Donatello. He's poor. He's a really poor action figure. I never liked him. He doesn't stand very well at all. Look at the state of his feet. Look at them. How's he supposed to stand on that? He's got his bow staff. That's his original bow staff, and that does go in his hands, which only go sort of up and down because only his shoulders are articulated and his hips and his head, like only a tiny bit. This has been in storage for quite a while actually. Well, when I say storage, it's been in my action figure box. But I got it out specifically for this episode. I'd never normally have him on display because I never really liked him. I never really liked the way he looked. Because he didn't look like the cartoons, and Donatello wasn't even my favourite. Raphael was my favourite when he was voiced by Rob Paulsen. So, in the UK, we had a bit of a problem with censorship at the time, and the word ninja was seen as too violent. So here it was changed to hero. That we had the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And I'm not being biased, right? But our theme song was better. I was going to play them, but I was worried about getting a copyright strike, so that's why I've decided not to. But if you look them up on YouTube and you listen to them, the original theme song for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was cobbled together really quickly, and it actually wasn't very good. Like, it was very shouty, it wasn't in tune. Whereas the Hero Turtles version of the theme tune is much better. It's sung very nicely, it's actually in tune. So this is probably a knockoff. I've never been sure. It's an exclusive Harry James design, licensed 1990 Mirage Studios. Whether or not it was actually licensed is a completely different story, because we're talking about years before the internet. And in the years before the internet, there was just so many knockoff toys. You had no way of knowing what was knockoff and what wasn't, because anybody could print on the box licensed toy, and no one would know the difference. So I don't take this out of the box very often. The box is never been too good. It's like the glue came undone. But this is my Raphael ceramic figure from 1990, and again, it's got a little sticker on the bottom saying that it's licensed, but there's honestly no way of knowing that, because literally anybody could put a sticker on it. And again, we're talking pre-internet years. But I liked this because it was much more like the hero turtles that I was used to, and not that monstrosity back there. When the live action films came out, then it did change Turtles mania in quite a big way. For example, like, Raphael was given a Brooklyn accent, and that's something that he's always had since that live action movie. But there's been all sorts of rights issues over the years with the varying series. Like, in the live action series, Bebop and Rocksteady weren't in it because they were something created for the cartoon. So in the sequel, they had, in Secret of the Ooze, they had Tokka and Razor, because they could use those. So I saw this in... Where did I see this? I think it was Home Bargains. It was probably Home Bargains. Anyway, I saw this, and it wasn't very much. It was about a tenner. And it says here on the box, inspired by the original TMNT animated series 1988, 34 points of articulation. 34. Can you believe that? That's just amazing. Like, I'm almost reticent to take it out the box, but the reason that people leave things in the box is so that they retain value, and I have no intention of ever selling any of my collectibles, so there's really no point in me taking them out the box. Leaving them in the box. Nickelodeon is now the overall owner of all the TMNT stuff. The information on the back says, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back like never before in a collector quality figure featuring 34 points of articulation, signature weapons, and classic sewer cover bases. These perfect old school cartoon recreations will leave you screaming cowabunga. About the Turtles, catapulted from indie comic origins to superstardom by the original Malcolm Wolf Swenson animated series that ran for nearly a decade and ranked number 1 in ratings for an unprecedented 5 years straight. Featuring over 190 episodes, the fun-loving, shell-kicking teens are still recognised around the world and fondly remembered with fans with every bite of pizza. Like, to be honest, I remember Turtles sort of pretty much launching pizza in the UK. Pizza wasn't a thing people ate very often. I mean, it was barely in supermarkets, and then after the Turtles came out, everyone wanted pizza. It was just something everybody wanted. And in the UK, also, we didn't even get the full run of the Turtles. They stopped sending it over here. I think someone can correct me on the exact number, but I think we only got something like the first 3 series of it. I think we stopped getting it after the live action movie completely, which sucked, because I really, really loved the Turtles, but with no new episodes, I had to move on, and I moved on to Biker Mice from Mars, which is actually a much better show. I'm sorry, but it is. It's much better than the original Turtles. The Turtles were rushed through animation. There were so many animating mistakes. The stories weren't as great. There was very little character development. Biker Mice from Mars was objectively a better show. So, yeah, sorry guys. So this is his stand, which is a sewer cover, and it's got his name on it, Raphael. I really wish it said hero instead of ninja, but what you gonna do? Let's get his size out. Never knew what these were called until the movie came out, because they never actually said on screen what these were. And like Michelangelo's nunchucks were eventually replaced with like a grappling hook in UK animation. God knows why. Right, so here we've got Raph. And again, he's angry. I don't know why he's angry, because Raphael was always the funny one in the cartoon, especially as voiced by Rob Paulsen. His name is Robert Paulsen, my favourite all-time voice actor, probably. You know, I mean, like, obviously Frank Welker and Casey Kasem, because, you know, a big Scooby-Doo fan, but let's try and get some of these points working. So we've got the head working. Sometimes these can be quite stiff coming out of a box, because they've just been sat around for a while. It's like, we'll move his hips in a weird way. I don't know why I'm doing this. Right, his hips move quite a lot. Then the tops of his thighs move, which is pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. His knees, oh my god, his foot's come off. His knees bend, his foot's supposed to move, but I've pulled it off. That's not good. His toesies move, little toesies. See how they work on this side. Is his foot going to come off? This one's on better, it seems. So these his toesies moving. So then we've got these shoulders. Can't seem to get these to go up and down. We've got an articulation point here, quite clearly. Oh no, but that is very stiff. That's not moving much at all. Oh, I think I'm loosening it, but yeah, that's not great. So basically his arms are going to be stuck outwards. His elbows move. Let's see if we can get this. Come on, come on. More natural. More of a natural pose, Raphael. You can do this. You were rude but cool. Right, so there's his elbows and there's his handies. Does his wrists do move? That's cool. And his little thumb moves, and his little fingers move. So there's his belt buckle, his R belt buckle, shell. Now here's the thing as well, the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, or Ninja Turtles, whatever you want to call them, are not actually turtles, they're tortoises. See, turtles are the ones that live in the sea, that have fins, flippers. Tortoises are the ones that live mostly on land and can duck their head inside their shell. Turtles can't duck their head inside the shell. Tortoises can, turtles can't. So, yeah. Just a bit of trivia for you. So here's Raphael on his base. That looks so cool. Let's compare these figures. Okay, so this has got 5 points of articulation. Head, shoulder, hip, and he doesn't even stand very well. This guy, 34. 34 points of articulation. I can't get over that. That's awesome. I wish he was smiling. His size going his belt. I'm wondering how easily he's going to hold one of these, because his hand is very easy to move. Like we see, his thumb moves and his fingers move. How are you supposed to hold the sai? Is it like that? Is that how he's supposed to hold them? I know it's not how you think it's supposed to be held. Answers on a postcard. I think that looks pretty cool. So, like I said, this was about a tenner. I can't remember the exact price because I'm super ill, and my brain goes dead when I'm super ill, and I can never remember anything. But you know, it would look so much nicer if he was happy. Like this little Raphael here. He looks so happy. Little turtle. I like my turtles on the box. But I'm not complaining because it's a super duper awesome source figure. And it's got a great base plate. Like, I really like when they do a collectible figure that's like highly detailed, that includes a stand, because it just means that when you're not playing with it, oh my god, his foot's come off again. Oh my god. When you're not playing with it, you've got a place to keep it and it looks good. Oh my god, Raphael. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I keep pulling your foot off. That's like not good. If like I lift your toesies, is that gonna help you stand better? Maybe. Can we not lose your foot again, please? That'd be nice. Yeah, you just stand there, looking angry, holding your sigh. I haven't decided where he's going to go yet in my display. I don't have a turtles section. At the minute, it's largely distributed between fandoms, but I don't have a turtles section. So this might go in the 1980s section next to the Thundercats, which I will be doing at some point, as well as I have several Thundercats figures from the recent show that are still in boxes, and I have blind bags from it, so I am intending to open them at some point. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative and interesting. Hopefully you'll consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you again next time.